isn't that the most left-wing group in America? And it's like, well, within the DSA, there are people who consider themselves even more left-wing than DSA, right? Mm-hmm. And that includes people who, run the gamut of incompatible, forms of leftism. So you have anarchists, and you have Maoists, and you have, Marxist-Leninists, and you've got Trotskyists. And so while this is a relatively small percentage of the overall DSA membership, they still have organized what we call caucuses, which are different factions within the DSA. And so for some of those people, they see AOC as, compromising too much with the Democratic Party, not standing firm enough against other Democrats, seeing her as being too willing to compromise or work with Democrats in office legislatively. And, then there's the vast majority of DSA members, probably somewhere in the round, if you were to ask me, 80 to 85% of DSA members who were supportive of her running for president. And there is, there's a tension there. And on the National Political Committee, there are caucuses who are, it's not that they're anti-AOC, it's just they want to go through certain procedures and get certain commitments, and they're kind of slow walking the process of endorsing her for president versus, those radicals I just discussed who don't want to endorse any presidential candidate at all. Mm-hmm. And then you have people who are very eager and they want to get on the AOC train, in the first car. They want to be the first, organization behind her in order to build her campaign, in concert with DSA and have DSA at the heart of it. So those are the various competing factions. And I tried my best, in the article with Jay Ryder to accurately represent everybody's position. And I'm not condemning anyone.
Yeah.
I just have, my own perspective on this, which I think has been informed by, the most recent electoral victories in Denver and Philadelphia, and especially New York City, which is DSA is massively growing in popularity. In fact, we were probably under-ambitious this year. I don't think we realized just how vulnerable the establishment Democratic Party is to left-wing challengers. I mean, we had a 15-term incumbent defeated in Denver with a challenger, a 29-year-old Malat Quiros. Mm-hmm. And we had, in Philadelphia, one of the bluest, I think it is the bluest or second bluest, seat in the country with Chris Rabb. And then, of course, Claire Valdez and Daria Lisa in New York City. We're seeing massive, massive opportunity for challenges from the left, which is basically unprecedented in American history. Mm-hmm. And those electoral victories are putting the fear of God into the establishment Democrats. But also, and this is what's important for me, we've seen DSA double in size in the last year as far as paid members. And, the attention that DSA is getting from the larger sympathetic population is growing and growing and growing. And I think you can draw a line of causality there between the two. And so I've tried to encourage the people that have been in DSA for a while to see that opportunity and seize it in order to massively grow our movement while, the thermostatic effects are positive for us. So I'm happy to unpack any of that I just said. Yeah. It's just, I see a once in a lifetime opportunity for those of us on the left to seize, both state power and institutional and social power. And we should seize it by supporting our most prominent member, AOC, in her bid for the White House.